So once you've drawn the shape of the pumpkin, we're going to start to go in with colour. And as always, we're going to start off with the lightest tones that you can see. So for this pumpkin, these nice autumn colours, I've picked up a yellow, I've picked up orange, I've picked up a red, so yellow, orange, red. I've also picked up a couple of brown tones as I feel like I can work them in the dark areas. So we're going to start off with the yellow, which is the lightest colour. And as I start to add that, I'm just curving it around the shapes that I've already created. I'm not pressing too hard at this point because I know I'm going to start to add other colours in, and I can also go back in with my yellow if I need to. So there we go, I've got a base tone right across the whole pumpkin. Now I'm going to go in with my next tone. And again, it is important that you don't press too hard initially because you might find it difficult to layer the colours because it starts to get a little bit plasticky. So my next colour is the orange. I will use different pressures, but again, not too hard yet. We can see there is some yellow tones that still shine through. So I'm going to leave them. I'm going to go lightly over the middle part, and I am curving to give form to this shape. I'm going darker on the ridges because the pumpkin, it'll bump in and out. We want it to look 3D. I'm just going to get my yellow and I'm going to just blend them colours there in the middle. And it should give it a nice smooth texture as well. So again, more pressure on the ridges, less pressure on the bumping out part of the pumpkin, but do keep looking at the picture to make sure that you're putting the correct tones in the correct places. Picking my yellow up again and pushing it into the orange to make sure that those textures are nice and smooth and that those colours are blended. So now I'm going to start to pick up some darker tones. I'm going to pick up my red and my brown. I'm going to put the red where it's at its darkest. And then if I want to create a little bit of like shadow, I'm not going to use black, I am going to use a dark brown, however, just where we can see shadowed areas. And if I layer it lightly, I can create just darker tones of red and orange. Now, to do the wooden stalk, I'm just going to use a variety of different tones of brown. And use lines to make it look as though, and this is tricky because it is so small. We're working on such a small scale. And this picture that we've got here was done on a large scale and shrunk down, so it will look a little bit different. I'm just using a little bit of white because the colours that I've used are really vibrant. You don't have to, you might want to keep it like that. That's absolutely fine. But to get the form of this pumpkin, it is really important that you are constantly curving your shading when you're shading. Following those lovely sort of bumpy shapes. And it is important to note that everybody's got their own style of drawing. Everybody's drawings today are going to look completely different because we've all got our own style. And it's just something that comes over time. And there we go, a 3D pumpkin.